Well, choice words have been used to describe Trump voters. This is the Democrats describing them as rednecks, deplorables. And recently, Bill Clinton has said that the Trump supporters are just angry white men. Trump won because he attracted them. Joining us now is Joe the Plumber, Joe Wurzelbacher, Vice President of Public Relations for Liberty Alliance. Would you describe yourself as an angry white man?
I would describe myself as a fed-up American, and that's where I disagree with Bill Clinton. It's not angry white men, it's angry Americans across the board. Republicans, Democrats, union workers, non-union workers, black Americans, everybody. We're tired of the Republicans and Democrats essentially telling us they're going to serve us and then ultimately serving themselves. And that's why Donald Trump got elected in office, because he's done with political correctness. He's happy to say Merry Christmas, and he wants to work on behalf of the American people. And that's really what it comes down to. As far as Bill Clinton, I mean, Bill Clinton's an angry guy. I mean, if anything, the Democratic Party should be angry at Bill Clinton. He's the one that essentially made a disgrace of the Oval Office, and then just everything that he's done afterwards has been ridiculous. So as far as I'm concerned, Bill Clinton's just a non-issue anymore. He's gone. Now we're going to move forward with Donald Trump and make America great again.
Joe, you're very calm, but I sense a level of anger right beneath the surface there. I can tell you're smiling. Merry Christmas to you. But hold on for a second. Michelle, the First Lady Michelle Obama, in an interview with Oprah Winfrey, said after Trump's election victory, the country has lost hope. Before we get into that, I want to just look at this statistic. We've got a new report. 40% of millennials are living with relatives. Record numbers. How do you square that? Michelle Obama says the country's lost hope. Is it maybe because we've got 40% of millennials living with relatives?
Well, ultimately, you know, when I grew up, Barney, I wanted to work. I couldn't wait to prove myself to be a man. You know, when I was 9 years old, I got my first newspaper route. And then I went on from there and kept on working for my uncles in the contracting field, plumbing, electrical, block work. It made me feel good. You know, these millennials aren't being taught to forage for food. I mean, it's almost akin to state forest and not feeding the bear. You're hurting the bear because they're not learning to hunt and survive by themselves, and that's what's going on with millennials. And when Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton were debating, they couldn't give away enough free stuff. And that's what they're teaching our young children these days is free college, free food, free housing, free the... You know, no, that's not how you build character. That's not how you build self-reliance. You know, we need to get back to trades, which, I'm very big on, and having kids enjoying the opportunity to actually work for themselves and become self-reliant. And that's something that America hasn't taught about. And as far as Michelle Obama, you know, Michelle, we're going to get along just fine without you. It proves the whole no hope thing tells me you never understood America or Americans and our values. So,
You are angry. Yes, you are, Joe the Plumber. You are angry. I mean, you're concealing it very well. Did you came to fame, you became prominent in the media when you asked then Senator Barack Obama about his business tax plan. Did you make a career out of that? We got you on the screen right now. This is way back in 08 during the election campaign. You made a career from that soundbite, haven't you?
I definitely have stayed in the spotlight for, you know, everyone was talking about my 15 minutes of fame being gone, but, you know, here I am 8 years later talking to you. You know, I think American people aren't just angry, but we're passionate about our country, and that's something that mainstream media doesn't really get from the middle-class, blue-collar workers. We love America. We're very patriotic, and we want to see her succeed and us along with it. And so, yeah, I'm angry, but I'm also passionate. It's okay to be angry as long as you focus and get things done with it, and that's what I've done. I've been promoting the Second Amendment, working with the NRA, trying to make sure our rights aren't taken away, work with states, you know, bring back states, strong states' rights, get the federal government out of all the business that they don't belong in. And so, yeah, I mean, I've stayed focused on this for the last 8 years, and the American people have stayed with me on it. And again, that's why I'm still sitting here talking to you, Barney.
It's Stuart, if you like, to call me by my first name, Joe.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Stuart.
That's all right. A lot of people call me Barney. Now, I want to bring this to your attention. Vice President Joe Biden. Today, he's being very critical of his fellow Democrats. He says his party didn't reach out to the working class. Mr. Biden says a bit of elitism has crept into the Democrat Party. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you, Joe?
Well, Joe's about 20 years late to that statement. Elitism's been there for a long time, and we're talking about Joe Biden, right? The guy who was vice president for 8 years that the Democrat Party didn't even look at twice to run for president. Joe Biden just needs to go home and play with a shotgun. He's immaterial to this conversation. He's just sitting there putting in sound bites and encouraging mainstream media to push a narrative that doesn't work for the American people.
Donald Trump was your favorite Republican candidate of all time, wasn't he?
Yes. Donald Trump has a lot of people excited.
Joe, you're all right. And thanks very much for coming on the show today. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas to you and yours. You come back again soon, okay?